everyone, welcome back to a new download, and this time I'm going to do a game. First of all, I want to start out by saying something. As you notice from the title that I gave it here, the title of this video, data caps. Now I want you to stop right there because I've been seeing this growing like wildfire all over YouTube and articles and everything else. Everybody's saying data caps, oh my god, the sky is falling, Look, I don't think either they don't know what data caps are or they're just using it for clickbait. I'm pretty sure they're just using it for clickbait because I know most of these people, they know better. Like there's one guy I saw, he did one video just mentioning data caps and he got tens of thousands of views. And so guess what he started cranking out? What content? He started cranking out content for data caps and talking about it more and more and more. It's not true. Okay, so here's what is true. If you're a residential customer, you have priority access and you've had always full priority access. That means not best effort, but this is the full service. And you've had the full service. Now, after 1 terabyte, all you do is you go down from priority access to basic access. So that's basically going from having, the full residential, and you go back to best effort effectively, which is what we all have as of right now, right? So there's no data cap because a data cap is you get to your terabyte and then they cut you off and that's it. And then if you want to buy more, they usually will sell it to you for an exceptionally high price, like $1 for every gig or something like that. That's not what's going on. This is only in the US, by the way. I think it has reached some of the other countries, but I'm not sure because I know we have guys from Italy and France and the UK that have asked me about this. So whenever you see somebody's video that's screaming about data caps, just know that it's not actually true. There's no data cap at all. What it is you go from priority access and you go to best effort. Now, some people are like, well, that's throttling. It's not throttling because, for example, what throttling is when you're at, you can pull 100 megabit per second connection, 100 megabit, and then after you reach a certain amount, then they take you back down to 1 megabit or 5 or whatever, but they throttle you and you can't get any higher than that. But again, that's not what this is, because you can still, when you go down to best effort, you can still be pulling 100, 150, but only when the network's not as congested, right? So under normal circumstances, you wouldn't get, like, there's not a certain amount you get throttled. Like I know that T-Mobile and AT&T, when you do that, there is a certain limit. It's like 3 meg, or God, I don't even remember, like 3 megabit per second or something like that when you get throttled. So that's not what this is either. The only thing it is priority access versus basic access. There's no actual throttling. I think for business customers, they do actually get throttled, but that's only business customers because I've been looking into this. So if you see somebody doing a video that says data caps, throttling, or whatever, that's not true. They don't understand what it is, or it's clickbait and they're trying to get you to click on the video. So anybody that's listening to this right now, if you saw the title of mine that says data caps in it, I'm doing it to prove a point, and you should stop listening now if you're not really interested, because I'm not going to get into it any further. This is going to be a game download. It's the Warzone 2.0 update. It's 32.4 gigabytes because I was going to do a full game, but a 32.4 gigabyte patch, that's pretty much a whole game. So I'm going to go ahead and start that right now, and whoever you are, it was in the comments, I couldn't find it again, but whoever you are that told me there's an actual downloads page, not just my library, but an actual downloads page in Steam that gives you so much more information. I thank you for telling me that because I didn't even know. I'd never looked for it. So what we're looking at here is the actual download page. I'm going to go ahead and get it started. So as you can see, and right now, by the way, it's 11:28 at night. I went out and I had to work. I'm in Northwest Georgia and I had to go work in Virginia, just outside of Roanoke this week, and I got back tonight. I wasn't planning on doing a video, but I was trying to get back and I was trying to find information on data caps and and anything else, and everybody's screaming data caps, and then you watch their video and it's like, oh, after a terabyte during normal hours, it just puts you from like full, complete 100% access down to down to best effort effectively. Starting download. Yeah, and so the whole thing just really rubbed me the wrong way because you can't find any information because everybody's too busy getting their clicks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let this run, And what I have it showing right now is I actually changed it instead of megabytes per second because everybody wants to know the megabits per second. So I put it in megabits per second, and this is active. What it's doing, this is the current, this is the peak, and then the total that I've downloaded. As you can see, we've already crested over 135 megabit per second speed, and we're doing pretty well here. This says right now it's going to take around 2 hours. It'll probably end up being a little bit less than that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speed this up, and so that way you don't have to sit there and watch the full 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. And you see it's slowing down a little bit now, but it'll fluctuate back and forth as it gets later and later into the nighttime. It'll start, obviously start picking up. So I'm going to go ahead and just mute my microphone. I'll be back in about an hour. Like I said, it's 11:30 right now. I'll be back in 1 hour just to see how we're doing. Hey everybody, I am back. It is just a couple minutes past. It's been an hour and 2 minutes right now. I decided not to come back at an hour. I'm like, you know what's going to be done just a little over an hour. So it looks like we're going to be finishing about an hour and an hour and 2 minutes. So let's do this out. It's 32.7 gig. And 32.7 gig times 1024, that gets you megabytes. So it's 33,484 megabytes. By the way, there is 1,024 megabytes in 1 gigabyte. It's not 1,000. It's 1,024 because it's base 2. Okay, so it's 33,484.8 megabytes. Took 62 minutes, so we're going to divide that by 62. So that ends up being 540 megabytes per minute. And then we're going to divide that again by 60, and that ends up being exactly 9.00129 megabytes per second. But that's megabytes per second. Let's change it over to megabits times 8. So that's 72. So what we average there throughout the whole download is 72 megabits. Yeah, 72 megabits per second is what we average start to finish. Now at the start it slowed down, and you can see there though at the end it started really picking up, and it just bothers me so much. Our peak was 198.2. We didn't quite break 200. Usually it breaks 200 at least a few times, but it's also a little bit earlier in the night. It's 12:33 now. The funny part is it seems like everybody has a bedtime of midnight, because before midnight it was going not bad, but it was going pretty slow. And then as soon as like 12:05 hit, then it just jumped way up. Like the average in that last little bit went from, probably something like 30 all the way up to an average of 90 or so. That was kind of funny. And so I just want to reiterate, by the way, for anybody that's still listening, again, don't listen to the clickbait about data caps. I haven't read anything about data caps. Everything that people are calling data caps, it's not a data cap. It's not even a throttle. It's a tiered access. So, and you pay for the tier, the highest tier, and then after that you go down to basically after you get your fulfillment or your allotment, I guess, you don't get cut off. They don't shut off the spigots. You don't have to buy more. You just go down to best effort. Where you just get deprioritized a little bit. So if there's not very much congestion, then you're still at normal speed. The only time it affects you is during peak times, if you're not on priority access. And I think they said that they're going to make it so you can buy more priority access. I don't know if I would waste time doing it. Just start your downloads or any big files that you have just after 11 o'clock. Oh, that's something else I didn't say. The whole total doesn't apply to off-peak times, which is 11 at night to 7 in the morning. So if you're doing big downloads between 11 at night and 7 in the morning, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't count towards your total. So we're going to leave it there for right now. I'm going to do probably another game download this weekend. I'm not entirely sure. I have some other videos and stuff in the works. I've had some requests. I'm going to do some of this on the computer. My next, like a series of speed tests. The network has been a little funky lately. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Here I've been getting more buffering than normal. For like 3 weeks I never got any. It was doing really good, and then all of a sudden it started flaking out a little bit. So not really sure what's going on. But anyway, hope everybody's having a good night. Gonna go ahead and do a little bit of editing with this video, get it out tonight, and then probably then head to bed. And if you guys have any questions, as usual, send me some messages. Send a message in comments. Add me in game. You can see my my Steam ID if you have that. And hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend. Good weekend. We'll see you next time.